What, do you not like me?
I don't want to get in between this because I'm just going to be very, very practical here.
Why? Who's not being practical? Throw us a subscribe, a review, whatever you want. It
How many
helps out.
subscribers do we have now?
Let's keep that in-house. You would clearly enjoy the Biggie concert more than the the Prince concert.
Easily. Why? You'd walk out of the Prince show, you'd be like, I should have fucking picked him.
All right, we're going to talk about flip-flopping. We're going to talk about this kid Matt here.
What did I do?
You know what you
I'm
did.
a pillar of consistency.
This is a trash brand. Come on. You could do better. This is a Grizzly.
Well, would you look at that? The Memo Podcast is back online. Very exciting day for everybody involved. How are you boys doing today?
Fantastic.
Good.
Fantastic.
Doing good.
Doing pretty
I don't
good.
know why my camera looks so laggy right now, but you know what? I'm just going to have to deal with it for the entire show. Yigal Harari is back with us on a new 10-day contract. We discussed it last week. We didn't want any tampering going on, so we just let it be. But he's back. You got Richard Lyons, Alex Masados, and Matt Brodsky as well, here to talk about some NFL football with all you guys. Can one of you just say a word real quick?
Yo.
Okay,
Word.
good. Just making sure that's working. All right. We got a lot to talk about. You know how we always start the show, hometown report. A lot of stuff going on in New York Jets land that we can talk about. I'm very happy to be right about something for once in my life, even if it's to the detriment of the team. Then we're going to talk about some teams that are one team on the rise, one team looks to be struggling a little bit that we thought was a top team in the league. They probably still are, but then we're going to move on to our picks. So let's get it going. No more wasting time. Let's start off with the New York Jets. And, they get spanked by the Buffalo Bills, no surprise. But I think the real story here is that Mike White, the real Mike White came out and showed his true colors.
I mean, realistically, that's not the story, because it would never should have been a story, so it barely even matters.
What do you mean? It was the talk of New York for 3 weeks.
But like I said, last week, that part doesn't matter because, but no one really thought no one thought that Mike White was going to be the future quarterback of the Jets.
There's
It is
definitely
the
a few-
story, though.
It was. You can't say
It
it
was
wasn't
a big story.
It shouldn't be it's not the actual.
So what's the
important
story with the Jets? They
Their
suck. They
defense
always
giving
suck.
up 40 points every fucking week.
No. Well, I'm not saying that's the story of the game of why they lost. I'm saying that's just the big story surrounding the team in general was Mike White. You can't deny that. That's what every news outlet and
Yes,
media
Matt,
source
I
is
agree
looking
with you that no matter who was the quarterback, we would have lost 45-30.
I don't think anyone's debating that. I'm just saying the people who thought Mike White was good are stupid.
Yeah.
Listen, I just think he's a competent backup quarterback. He knows his role. That's it. He should know his role.
What does that mean?
Look,
He's not a starter.
He said last week he should have been the first.
How is he a
overall
competent
pick.
backup?
He doesn't know his
Yeah,
role.
no, listen, we're not going to talk about all that, like what the players were saying about him in the locker room.
Look,
and
they're
any
just
of that
they're
stuff,
just backing up their boy. That's
because it literally just blew up in their face. That's pretty much
fine.
it.
They're backing up their guy. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that.
If you didn't see this coming, you're really dumb.
Yeah, the evidence was all there from the start. I spoke about it several times with the stat. I know stats aren't the end all be all, but they're pretty damning when you look into them and watch the game back. Yeah, that stuff doesn't matter. What you're saying, they're just his teammates hyping him up. But I mean, I just think it shows the state of being a Jets fan and New York Jets media in general. They just hop on everything so quickly and start anointing people the best ever after one thing and then shitting on them when they do something bad. It's just a constant flux of it's one way or the other. It's never just in between.
Well, if we weren't horrible all the time, it wouldn't be so exciting when your backup quarterback has a good game.
That's true. I completely agree with that.
It's just you have nothing to talk about them besides them being bad and all their players playing bad and getting injured and everyone. So this was just a story that everyone caught on to, especially social media and everything. Everyone was
It
blowing
was
up
one
about
fucking
them.
thing to be happy about.
Exactly, just the one thing, and turns
But
to
like,
shit.
it shouldn't have been something to be like so happy about. It should have just been like, all right, this happened.
I feel like most of it was a joke.
Yeah, I believe that too.
I guess. No, I mean, not I guess. It was, but
Like,
I don't
no
know.
one actually believed that.
And now he'll
be the
forever
next
be a
Tom Brady.
meme.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad.
I mean, it was a little sad, the press conference after, but whatever. He's not going to play anymore.
I thought Zach Wilson started on Sunday. Just looking at the box score, I thought he was bad.
Wow, he's actually
Ouch.
significantly worse than Zach Wilson, considering he has one less interception and 5 less games.
We threw 4.
Yeah, well, he has 8 on the year, and Wilson had 9.
Tied Wilson's career.
Yeah, that's good for him, huh? Okay, so now they move on to Miami, and everyone thought that Zach Wilson would be making a return, and Joe Flacco's coming back. I know we didn't.
He's
really...
actually only played 2 less games than Zach Wilson.
2 less.
And he got hurt in one of them.
All right.
Okay, so he played 5 snaps.
That works.
That works. He played 5 snaps against the Colts, and then threw 8 picks in 3.5 games. Because he also only played a half against the Patriots.
Yeah,
so he started 2 full games, the Bengals game and then this game. And he actually only played the full game in the Bengals game because he got benched for Flacco.
It's a pretty
Flacco came in.
similar pace to Wilson, honestly.
It is a similar.
What'd you say, Matt?
Flacco came in that game?
Threw a touchdown to Moore.
Oh, that's right.
Actually, I don't know if he got benched for him. I think he got like the wind knocked out of him and then came back after. But
Sure.
okay, so there's. I mean, look, we didn't talk much about the game. There's not much to talk about. The Bills are much better than the Jets. They fucking killed them. I guess we could
stop giving up 40 points.
Yeah, we can talk about the defense
it's the
in general.
Worst, it's the worst 4-game stretch of points allowed since 1966. It's not just that they're young, okay? There are young defenses in the league for the past 70 years that haven't done this. What the fuck is going on? And it looks like, I mean, you watch the games, and it's like the guys are just wide open, and every play goes for 30 yards.
I don't know what it is. I think it's just a blend of everything. It's coaching, it's players, it's the scheme. I mean, like, I don't know what's happened. They're not getting any pass rush anymore. They lost their two starting safeties. I'm sure that doesn't do well for you. Jared Davis is a fucking terrible linebacker. I don't know. They're just not.
They have a player named Jared Davis.
Yeah, he's only played like a few. They signed him this year. He's only played like 2 games.
This team just at least like the defensive wise, like doesn't look like they're playing with any heart. Like it's just like
I don't know.
Give up. Like, oh, the offense isn't going to do it. After, they go 3 and out the first couple drives, and all right, fuck it. Like they can't do shit. We're not going to do shit. It feels like.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what the answer is. I mean, you just hope they can turn it around for the rest of the season and just put this month stretch behind them. But it doesn't seem like it's slowing down. I mean, at least they played Miami, who doesn't seem to have that great of an offense. But
Tua is heating up, man. 2 wins in a row for Tua now since he got back into the lineup.
Yeah, but they still allow 26 points a game.
Okay.
They just held the Ravens to
They
like.
just held the
the
Ravens
Jets
to 10
defense.
points.
I mean,
I know
is Tua really heating up?
Yes.
He has
winning
1
games.
touchdown and 2 picks in 2 games.
Do you watch football or do you just read numbers?
He doesn't do anything special ever.
Yes,
when
he
I
does.
haven't seen him do anything.
He beat the
Definitely
Ravens.
not heating up.
They fucking held the Ravens to 11 points. What the fuck did he do?
You didn't see him at safety? Okay, watch. You're gonna eat these words when Tua fucking carves up the Jets.
He
defense.
probably will. I'm not even denying that. But don't come in here and say Tua's heating up.
He is heating up. Watch.
That's made up.
He's good. He's fucking good.
I think he could. I think he's got
Fake
a
news.
shit end of the stick here with all the Deshaun Watson stuff. I feel bad for him, but tell me when he's heating up, when he's actually throwing touchdowns.
He came in and they were losing when Brissett was playing, and then he came in and they won the game.
You know what? I'm actually because Google's stupid and they show everything out of order.
That is true. It was the emergency.
I mean, he's better than Jacoby Brissett. That's good. I think we should expect that.
He took the team from losing to winning.
That's good. No, he's probably better than Mike White.
And then he beat the Texans.
Tua is
the week
heating up.
before.
Okay, Tua is heating up, and he
Actually,
didn't
he
even
didn't
play.
Wasn't that Brissett?
He
Didn't play.
He didn't even play last week against Houston. So
He was heating up before he got hurt. I'm looking back. 1 second.
he was not.
They were on a bye.
So he's heating up, and then they just decided to take
Is
him
this
out.
the topic for now? Tua?
It's more
We're gonna
interesting.
act like we watch Dolphins games. Come on, let's
I
not
did.
pretend.
Egal and I were at Kraft, losing money on the Ravens.
I'm winning.
Look,
Oh, you did. You took them under.
I think another. Okay, if we want to stick to the
3.5
Jets
times.
here, I want to talk about this since this was another big story in the Jets. What do we think of Rex Ryan calling out Robert
I think
Saleh?
I was gonna say the defense probably wouldn't give up 40 points a game if he was here.
Yeah, like Rex Ryan never had a game like that.
It was it one game.
Multiple. They got.
Apparently, no team in NFL history has,
Yeah,
has had.
it's
a
He's
That's
gonna
stretch
what
like
he
this.
said.
he's gonna talk about like he's never had a bad game. That's the way he thinks.
But we're not.
Fuck
it's
him.
not one game.
I know. But
I don't want to talk about this, honestly.
I don't.
Can
No,
we not?
I have no interest in.
why
Rex
not?
Ryan.
It's a Jets story.
It is a pretty big Jet
It's one of the
story.
biggest stories of the week with the Jets. We don't have to talk
Yeah,
about it.
because it's just
It's
another
fucking-
week.
What, you
where
want to
the
talk about
Jets got
fucking
rocked.
Joe Flacco?
I think we should move on to the Giants.
We're better analysis than
No,
just
let-
fucking headlines like First Take on Rex
Can we just
Ryan.
talk-
Who cares about Rex Ryan?
Can we just talk about that? All right, I understand.
Yigal
that.
wants to
heads.
say something. Let fucking Yigal talk about it.
I want to talk. No, I want to talk about why we're starting Joe Flacco next week.
You like
Because
that,
Zach
Richard?
Wilson's hurt.
You like that, Richard?
No, okay.
Well,
I thought
Alex
not
said he wanted to move
100%
on to the
Ryan.
Giants, so
No,
Yigal wants to
but-
still talk about the Jets.
Okay, but honestly, I want to ask your opinion. Why go on this like for these like the last 2-3 weeks, like we said, like the team cheering him up, Mike White, everything. I understand you gave up a 6th-round pick for Joe Flacco, but after hyping him up and saying Mike White can do this and Mike White can do that, and because against the Dolphins blitz, like he can't play, like why is that a reason that he's not able to play? Like I thought he was a reliable backup quarterback for you guys, and now you're just
Do you still think that after he threw 4
I mean,
interceptions
I-
against
it's probably
I think
what they
he's,
saw
I think
against
he's a
Buffalo.
good backup quarterback.
How
Backup.
can you say that?
Because listen, he had one shit game against arguably the number 1 defense in the league, and then a really good game against a really good team in the AFC. So like it's like hand in hand. And that's the Colts game. He got off to a hot start. It's just that he was going up against, like I said, arguably the number 1 defense in the league. So
They are the best defense in the league. That is.
I think they just want to fucking nip it in the ass and get him out of the lineup and fucking get Zach Wilson in there as soon as possible. So start Joe Flacco after his worst game ever, like Mike White's worst game ever. Get Joe Flacco in and then bring Wilson back.
It's all just so inconsistent.
I think they also don't want to just light a 6th-round pick on
I
fire.
agree that it's inconsistent.
It's like 1 week you're going to start this guy, then James Johnson, and then
James Johnson, wow.
Josh Johnson,
They-
whatever his name is.
They're trying to prove that they didn't just light a 6th-round pick on fire. They have to get
I
Flacco.
don't
Lit it
think
on fire.
that's not the coach's responsibility, though. The coach's responsibility is to play whoever's going to give you the best chance to win.
Yeah, but literally
Who's
Douglas
calling
was
the
like, "Yeah, we wasted a 6th-round pick. At least let it make it worth
What a
it to play
fucking
him one
stupid
game.
trade, though.
Like to play him one game. Does that make it?
You want to know why? You want to know why Mike White's not playing? Because he sucks. That's why he's not
All
fucking
right, he's
good.
not a starter in the league,
He's
but
not a
I
good
believe
at
that he could
anything.
be like a Josh McCown type player, like backup role.
Josh McCown played in the NFL for like 15 seasons.
I know he played in the NFL for
Dude,
15
he hasn't been a
seasons. I'm
backup
saying,
quarterback
like,
on a
that backup
team
role.
until he got to the team with the worst quarterback history in the league besides the Browns. So I don't know if I
Flacco probably gives them a better chance to win.
he probably does. He probably does
Why didn't he start
want-
last week?
because he was on the team for a day
Well, because Mike White at the time
and he was playing well. That's true.
The hype was,
The hype was real.
So are the coaches buying into hype, or are
Well,
they?
no, you
are
have
they
to ride the hot
assessing
hand.
He's
the
playing
player?
well, but now
you
he's
have to ride the
bad.
hot hand.
So now they're.
it's
I
like-
do think it's stupid. Like, why
Who
not?
do you want to
just-
start this Sunday?
Mike White.
I don't.
He just showed that when a team gets pressure on him and has, complex scheme on their defense, that he's going to throw 4 interceptions like he should have every other game when the teams were dropping picks.
Does it really fucking matter who starts? It's Joe Flacco, Josh Johnson, or Mike White.
That's a
They're
good
all gonna
point.
suck.
That's a
like
good
what
point.
are we fucking arguing about? Just put somebody in the game. If he sucks, switch it.
That's a good point.
Zach back in. Just get Zach back.
I think it's stupid. Then I think it's stupid that they started Mike White last week. I don't care that he played well against the Colts. If you know the player sucks, then don't fucking play him.
They didn't know until he sucked.
These guys go out there and practice every day. You think they don't watch what their quarterback's doing?
But like you learned from being in the game, he was good until he wasn't. You ride the hot hand. What else are you gonna do? What do you have to go off?
Something tells me Mike White wasn't tearing it up in practice.
Okay, but he threw for 400 yards and beat the Bengals. You're just gonna sit him for no reason?
They also played that Monday. They
It
played Sunday
seems
and then
they don't
played
know
that
what they're
Thursday.
They have 3 losing cards in their hand. Nothing that they put down is gonna look good.
That is true.
They can't just make one of them good enough to not suck. Like they're all gonna. Joe Flacco will probably do the same shit.
Why didn't we have a backup quarterback going into the season?
That's that. I would
Like you could have just signed him cheap money.
I mean, look,
minimum.
who I get that. Why didn't you bring in a veteran? Whatever. I mean, like first of all, for what? To have them come in and win games? Who are you going to bring in that's going to be good? Most backup quarterbacks in the league suck.
No one. I'm saying that. Why did we have to spend a 6th-round pick on trading for Joe fucking Flacco because we didn't come into the season prepared with a backup quarterback? I don't care if they suck, but you should,
I'm not
just have a backup.
Last year too. Flacco was the backup last year.
They tried to re-sign him, and he went to Philadelphia because he thought he could win the starting job. He said.
Okay, well now he has his own issues.
Yeah, I mean he's an idiot. He thinks he's still fucking gonna play. He's an idiot.
Should have signed Cam.
Well,
No, he shouldn't have signed Cam.
Um,
But you should just have a backup quarterback.
I mean, yeah, obviously they didn't have the faith in White that they act like they have, but I don't know. I don't know.
Let's
I don't
move
know
on.
what any difference it would have made signing whoever, but I guess we would have had a 6th-round pick still. Okay, we move on to the Giants, who had a
Giants
bye.
were on a bye.
They had a bye, and now
They
they
get Tampa next week.
play Tampa.
Interesting.
Tampa
Brady-
coming off 2 losses.
Tom Brady has only lost 3 times in a row once in his career, and the last time was in 2002. So the Giants have their work cut out for them.
Yeah,
And it's a Monday night game.
That's going to be a tough one. You know, I'm not expecting the offense to come out prepared because we know. What was that stat you had, Matt? About the Giants offense?
32nd in red zone touchdown rate or something.
Their 32nd, in red zone touchdown rate this year. They were 31st in red zone touchdown rate last year.
So they're just awful all the time.
Daniel Jones has 8 touchdowns in 9 games. That's astounding.
Yeah, it is.
I looked it up when I was doing the prep for this because I'm changing it now that we talked about it. I was gonna take the Giants, but 8 touchdowns in 9 games in this NFL. How is that even possible?
Does he have any rushing?
You're bad.
He has 2 rushing from the first 2 games of the year.
He hasn't thrown a lot of
Jason
interceptions.
Garrett calls your plays.
Yeah, I guess they're just not throwing because he doesn't have a lot of picks.
Yeah, he
And
was
also, their offense is also just bad.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. Well, there's not much to talk about. We'll do it in more in-depth Giant report next week.
yeah
after
when they
creamed by
get
the Bucks.
yeah. All right, so now we're gonna move on to one of our main topics of the day. We got 2 teams we're gonna talk about here. One of them is on the rise, a team that all of us hate a lot, and it sucks seeing them be 6-4. The New England Patriots started the season 2-4. They're on a 4-game win streak. Who would have thought? I think some people would
I
have.
don't hate the Patriots.
Get out.
Hate.
Yeah, because you love Fat Mac Jones.
I predicted that he would be good.
Everyone said he would be good.
You guys didn't.
We didn't.
I
Richard,
really was
Alex,
shitting on him.
Alex, listen to this spin Richard's about to put on.
What? I said okay, maybe
They
not
did
as
used
good
to
as
call him the spinner in high school.
Yeah, that's
maybe not as good as he
And
is
on
at this
Sunday.
moment. But Matt, we would talk about it all the time, and you would say he's gonna suck, and I'd say I don't think he's gonna suck, but I don't know if he's gonna be like this fucking Tom Brady
He
that they
said he
always say.
never said he.
What?
Come on.
What? Honestly, what?
You said I didn't think he would be Tom Brady
Because
That
we
was
would
your
we would
criticism?
always talk about fucking Bill Simmons sucking him off, and we'd be like, he fucking calls him Tom Brady. We'd
You
get
said
pissed.
that you never said he'd be bad. You just didn't like it.
I
don't
didn't
buy
say he was gonna. I said many times I think he'll be good. I said it so many times.
Alex,
and you're pissing me off.
I
literally
have
end the
never
live
said he was
stream.
going to be
No,
good.
but I'm
literally
not
end the
as
live stream.
involved
Not
in the
even kidding.
draft
I'm very
talks.
mad.
I've always said he was
I'm
going to be
very
bad.
mad.
You said they were
I
going
believe
to
her,
be
Trick.
bad. We
I
all
would
said he
say
was
I would be like he sucks. Fuck Mac Jones. Fuck the Patriots shit like that. But when we would talk about it like that, I would always be. You would be like, he's gonna suck. He has no shot to be good. I'd be like, I don't think he's gonna suck. But I'm like, I didn't think he would be this good right away. I'll say that. I didn't think he was gonna be like a top like QB in the league one day.
Well, no one thought he would be this good, and it sucks to see. And it sucks to see how everybody is now in love with him.
I like it because I invented it.
But I can't. I mean, listen, for them to go score 45 points on the Browns this week, to the defense that's supposed to be pretty good, I don't know how he's doing it.
Is any
but they're
team
doing
good
it.
at anything anymore?
No.
Everyone sucks.
Every team sucks. I hate this season. Like, I like it because it's so unpredictable, but I hate it because I lose all my money.
You got literally every single good team is doing something stupid, except for the Packers did it
Except for
week
the
1, I
Titans.
guess. So I was gonna say every team is like getting blown out except the Packers, but they got it out. Week
Titans lost to the Jets.
1. Yeah. And then they lose.
Yeah, but that was their last loss.
Who else did they lose to?
Right?
Like someone else not good.
Should count as 3. They lost to.
They have 2 losses. I don't remember who they did. Cardinals?
Was it
No.
the
Yes,
Bengals?
they got crushed by the Cardinals week 1.
They did 38-13. Okay. So the Patriots. Yeah, I mean, but you know what the thing is? Like, obviously Mac Jones is playing super well, but like he's not the sole reason why they're so great. Like, he just does what he has to do. He's not throwing for like 350 yards and 4 touchdowns. Like the offense moves the ball pretty well. They can run the ball. They get their short pass game in there, but their defense is as good as it ever is.
Yeah, their
under
defense
Bill
is really
Belichick.
good. But it's still pretty impressive for Jones to do what he's doing with the weapons they have. I'm sure their offensive line is good.
It is pretty good.
But just like the play calling and the quick decision making and the short passes and the accuracy, he's really mature for a first year quarterback. I feel like going into the season and like people that were evaluating him as a prospect said that he had a pretty high floor, but maybe not as high of a ceiling. But
Yeah, you're seeing that for sure.
But I think he's proving that he has a pretty high ceiling. I mean, he's crushing it. I'm pretty sure he's like 6th in passer rating in the NFL or something like that. He's doing really well.
Which is kind of funny because, like, at the beginning of the year, we were all saying to each other, "Oh, they're just gonna like be running the ball a lot. He's not going to be throwing it a lot." And
he
now,
doesn't throw it a lot.
Well, but now, like, we've been watching the games, and he's been throwing some long balls. He's a very accurate quarterback. He's been throwing
definitely
it,
letting
15,
him loose
20.
a little bit.
His last 2
Exactly.
games, I mean, they were blowouts, so I guess whatever. But his lowest attempts for games in the entire season.
I mean, listen, either this is just the
But he's
Bill
just being
Belichick
efficient.
effect.
Like, he threw 23 passes and threw 3 touchdowns. So
Yeah.
That's the thing. He's incredibly efficient, and he's cut back on the turnovers a lot too.
yeah.
I get fucking really mad.
But do you notice how quickly he gets the ball out? It's like Brady. He literally,
that's
they
their,
get the ball
that's,
and it's out.
That's their
Like,
offense. I mean,
but that's hard for a rookie quarterback to pick up, especially this early, first 10 weeks of your first year.
I think if you plugged I mean, look, I don't know if they'd be playing as well as he is right now because, like we were just saying before, like he seemed the most pro ready. His game seems to like really be like tailor made for that offense they run. But I think plug in any of the rookies in that offense, they'd probably be running it like pretty efficiently. Like I don't think Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson look as bad on the Patriots as they do in the Jets and Jaguars. You know what I mean? Like maybe they'd be a little more turnover prone, but like I think like it's like built in this offense. Like short passing game is really important. Like that's what we want to do. Like you're not launching it downfield every fucking play. So I don't know. I think like it's like just from the start, it's like this is what we got to do, and then we're going to branch out. And I think that's the way you should do it. Like obviously it works. Now he's coming along the way you want him to.
Right, like the coaching staff sets him up for success and puts him in a good position to succeed. Yeah, and then the team wins because it's a good organization.
They're making him execute the easy stuff, and then they're gonna bring in.
Right, and they're about to hit like a really tough part of their schedule. I know they play the Falcons this Thursday, and then after that, I think it's the Bills, I think they get the Titans after that, then the Bills again at some point. So
Yeah,
these next few weeks are going to be when the Patriots really get tested. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, they got you're right, the Titans, Falcons, Titans, Bills, Colts, Bills, Jaguars,
If
Dolphins.
they beat the Bills, ESPN might fucking explode.
It depends if it's
I might explode.
if it's the first game they're gonna explode. But like if they, I mean, like a splitting, like they're both good teams. I wouldn't be surprised if they split. You know,
I wouldn't either, but I'm saying like if they ride the hype into the
that
game
first
against
Bills
Buffalo
game
and then win.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, so I mean, fuck the Falcons, but yeah, Titans, Bills, Colts, Bills is a tough 4-game stretch. So we'll see how they do there.
Yeah, they just beat the Chargers and the Browns. They've been on a tough stretch already.
That is
Yeah.
true, but are the Chargers and the Browns good? I don't know.
Yeah, because the Patriots are good.
I mean, like, I think they're good. The Chargers and Browns.
They're not on the Bills and Titans level.
No. I mean,
The Titans aren't good.
Yeah, I'm also a believer in that. I don't.
They're
everyone
the
thinks
They're
Steelers.
8-2.
They're last year's Steelers.
I was
They're definitely up.
First round
They're
exit.
definitely in a tier above
but-
the Chargers and Browns right now.
last year's Steelers. You could see like the fatal flaws. Like they're beating good teams. Like they're not.
They still
Yeah.
have flaws. Hey,
No, of course they have flaws.
I
but-
think that they're
I mean,
one
it's,
and
it's
done.
not a just us thing that people like listening to shows and shit. People are like the Titans, but are they even good? Like no one thinks they're
Yeah.
actually good. Like it's very disrespectful, honestly. But yeah, Mac Jones, Alex did scout him. We'll reach out to the Patriots. We'll get him a job because he knew from the start that he would be good. Until Zach Wilson's better next year.
It's just so funny. We as Jet fans never get a fucking break from this Bill Belichick guy and the Patriots. Like 1 year off with Cam that had a shitty year, and then they're right back to it. Like you don't get a fucking break with these guys, and it's annoying.
Yep.
It is.
They
It
weren't
must
even
be tough
that
to be
shitty
Jets
either.
fans.
They were like
Exactly.
around
It's
500.
like you just can't get a break. I
Well,
want to get out of this division.
Just you gotta fucking find your own way. You can't just depend on the Patriots fucking up.
Exactly. Even if they were bad, we would still suck.
Yeah, so it's not like it matters.
True. That is a good point.
Like they started the season bad and we were still bad.
They
so.
just both be terrible.
All right, so
It's
that's
not like the Pats are stopping you from making the playoffs, you know?
I was so frustrated with last year's Jets because finally the Patriots aren't good. They finished 7-9, and we have the second worst record in the NFL.
yeah. 2 top 10 draft picks, baby.
Well, Buffalo is obviously the team that took over that division, and I still think that Buffalo is going to win the division,
yeah,
pretty comfortably. I mean, we'll see, but yeah, no, it's definitely a tough division to be in as a Jet fan. You got Tua heating up, you got Josh Allen, you got Mac Jones.
So you guys think that the Patriots are what percentage chance do you give the Patriots to make the playoffs?
That schedule's tough, so I would have to say probably 2.
Ooh, they're 6-4.
They're
now,
6-4. They're right now. They're
Make the play. They
Right-
probably have like a 70% chance.
Right
That's
now-
what I was going to say, 75% chance.
Right now, they're the 6th seed, and the Chargers are the 7th seed. What? Okay, at 5-4, Patriots 6-4. On the bubble, Bengals 5-4, Raiders 5-4, Colts 5-5, Browns 5-5, Broncos 5-5. So I think they do play the Colts this year. That's going to be a big one.
Yeah, I'd give them a 60% chance.
Okay, Colts 5-5. What didn't they start the season like 1-4?
They were 0-3. I'm not sure about after that.
They always do this.
They do. They started a season 1-5 with Frank Reich, and then they went 11-5. I'm pretty sure, or something.
Why don't we talk about the struggle?
They beat the Jets and the Jaguars the last 2 weeks. What'd you say, Alex?
Trying to do a smooth transition into our conversation about the Rams, but I didn't do it effectively.
Your mic like shit the bed.
Yeah. I couldn't hear what you said.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin Lee in the live chat said Pats are nice. We know.
Yeah, he's a Pats fan.
Yeah.
Now here come all the Pats fans.
Yeah, they
got their fucking confidence back.
Yeah, there we go. That's the worst
He
fucking part
says
about it.
80%, and they end up winning the Super Bowl.
There it
Oh, my
is. See, now there it is. Real
If they
modest.
ended up winning the Super Bowl, I would literally just give up. I would give up.
All right,
Yeah,
so
I
yeah,
watch football.
let's talk about a real Super Bowl contender, or are they? The Los Angeles Rams. What the fuck's going on here, as Matthew McConaughey would say?
They got that super team bug, man. You get all those guys coming together,
Yep.
like the Eagles a couple years ago. So much going on. You buy into your own hype, and you crumble.
You crumble under the pressure.
Oh,
Now,
Are they football players or are they celebrities over there in LA? What are we doing?
Odell's been trying to get there for 4 years. Didn't you
What are we
hear?
doing?
Well, they
Yeah.
just lost. They just lost one of their most reliable receivers in Robert Woods.
Yeah, that's a football player.
Yep. No
Out for the
nonsense.
season with a torn ACL. Odell didn't do much in his first game. Granted, he was only on the team for a couple of days.
He played 15 snaps.
These
So
last
throw
couple
that out.
of games, Stafford has looked really bad. He's been turning the ball over,
Mhm.
not moving the ball effectively, and their defense isn't doing a great job of stopping. Well, they did an okay job of stopping the Titans, given the field position that they had, but the 49ers just ran all over them.
Yeah.
Deebo Samuel, it seemed like every
Oh my
time he touched
God.
the ball, he was gaining 20 yards.
Mhm.
And also, I just felt like Stafford kept throwing the ball into the air every time and throwing the pick. Like he skyrocketed into the air, and I'm just
Yeah,
like,
he was just
why are you throwing those passes?
every
Definitely
single
not-
throw in the red zone was just sailing over guys' heads. It was so
Yeah.
weird. Like, look, I mean, it's really the worst 2 games of the year by far. So I don't want to say too much that is something wrong, but it's just weird. It's weird. Like the 49ers have been not a good team for this season. And it was the weird part is 2 weeks in a row now that they just can't score points until garbage time. I mean, they scored. It was 14-7 at a point because they started 14-0 in the span of 2 minutes in the start of the game. And it was 14-7, and then they didn't score until the third or fourth quarter, right, when they got that next field goal.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on with the offense. I mean, they had Robert Woods last week. So I don't know. I don't know how big of a difference him being out should make for them because I think Matthew Stafford's that talented, and they still have Cooper Kupp. They still have solid players all around. They should be able to make the offense work. But
Van Jefferson can't catch a football anymore.
yeah, I don't know what's up with him. Maybe he
That
never
was
could.
insane.
Maybe he could never catch a football, and we were all just idiots for ever believing him.
they just
The Rams will be fine, but it seems like once they face a little adversity, they kind of give up. I was watching the game, and even throws that Stafford was making, guys were dropping them. Like you said, Van Jefferson, Higbee had a big drop, and then the crowd gets on them whether they're playing home or away. If they're at home, they're getting booed. If they're away, they're getting the crowd noises all the way up. So that might be the formula to beat the Rams, but I think they'll be fine. They're still fourth in the NFC in points scored. Their defense, we know what their defense is. They have Jalen Ramsey, one of the best players in the NFL. Just added Von Miller. They're going to be fine once they work out the things.
Yeah, I mean that's also I feel like a weird part though that the defense for 2 weeks can't stop anyone. So
Against the Titans, Stafford was turning it over. He had one.
that
pick
is true.
six.
Yeah, the pick six
one
and the one that
pick
was on the
six
5-yard line.
line.
But the 49ers were running all over them. But it's one game, division rival. It happens.
Shanahan's beaten Sean McVay 5 times in a row.
really.
Interesting.
I think that
Just
seems
have
to
his
be
number.
the problem there.
They'll turn around and lose to the Jaguars this week.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why I was so surprised too, because it's not even like the Rams, they lost to the Titans, but the Niners looked so bad against the fucking Cardinals backups. How the hell did this happen?
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought the Niners were dead. I picked the Rams on our pick segment, and I didn't even consider it because I was like, the Niners are fucking terrible. And then they came out and they looked like the Niners of that Super Bowl run. And we'll see. Jimmy G, I don't know. I don't want to talk about the Niners, but
quick before we move on to picks. Just quick off the top of your head, if you were to be confident one team in the NFC, who would you pick?
Packers.
Packers, yep.
I want to say the Packers too, but you don't like Dallas?
Buccaneers,
yeah.
I mean, them too. They just lost 2 weeks in a row.
I don't care about that. You know what Brady.
You know what? I like that pick, Rich. Dallas, that's a safe pick. I feel like they're the.
Why is Dallas? When was the last time Dallas won a playoff game?
No, I wasn't even like I was kind of.
Let's not talk about that. The past is the past. This team now looks good. Like they look really good.
I think, yeah.
True.
I don't know. There's just so many good teams that it's like fun to wonder about it.
If we were
Five
talking
teams.
last week, you wouldn't say Dallas after they got crushed by the Broncos.
Yep, that's true.
Every single team in the NFL has had stupid losses.
Yeah.
One bad loss.
Yep. It's crazy.
But the Packers, aside from week 1, they're 9-1 against the spread, being 8-2. I mean, like they're winning games that they're supposed to win, and they're covering the numbers. So they're obviously they're heating up right now. The defense is incredible.
What did they do? They just all of a sudden shut out the Seahawks with Russell Wilson
after holding Mahomes to 14 points. I don't know where it is. And like I said, they don't have Jair Alexander. He's a top 5 corner in the league, and they're doing it without him. So when they get him back,
is he coming back?
Yeah, not like next week. He'll be back like in time for playoffs or like the stretch run, but he's a few weeks away. But yeah, they're firing on all cylinders right now. And Rodgers didn't have the best game. I think there was no touchdown scored till the fourth quarter. But give him a week to get himself back together.
Yeah.
I think they'll be a real problem in the playoffs with that defense.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I would like to see them win. I think it'd be cool.
I would love to see Brady, Rodgers, NFC
chip. Didn't they have that last year?
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
it was that. Yeah. And it should have if Rodgers wasn't a pussy and knew how to run the football. But we can talk about that another time. All right, let's move on.
I just told our friend Rafa to join the show.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So we will
tell him no more.
Okay. We'll get him to come in.
Kevin Lee said he likes the Bucks and Cardinals. Okay. I don't trust the Cardinals yet. But that's just me.
I mean, Kyler hasn't played in 2 weeks.
No, I'm not even because of that. Like, I just don't like in a playoff setting. Like, are you trusting Cliff Kingsbury?
Yeah,
to
why not?
Scheme all these other great coaches.
His defense is also really good.
Yeah, I don't know. You got a lot of great coaches in the NFC. I don't know if I could take them going through the gauntlet.
They lead the NFC in point differential. That matters to you.
That matters. I'm just looking. Playoffs are a different beast.
Who'd they just lose to?
The Cardinals?
The Panthers.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome our guest of the evening here, Mr. Alessandro Rafa. How we doing, buddy?
Going on? I brought a prop.
Look at the
look at that.
I had to. Is it backwards or did?
No, it's the right way.
Forward. Yeah.
It's there. How you been, bud?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on.
We used to do a podcast together, an MMA podcast. Whatever. Don't know what happened.
I think I'm still a part of the Memo Podcast Network. It's been a while.
Yeah,
you are.
Always, man. I love the whiteboard.
Yeah, I do like that a lot. You're like what's
Woody
his name?
Page.
Yeah, Woody Page on
It's a little important action for you.
All right, so let me get a quick standings update here for the listening audience. We are now entering, what is this, week 11? So
And we all had an absolutely pathetic week.
Did I go 0-4?
Hey.
Oh, Matt was okay.
So after week 10, yes, you're right. Igal and Alex both were 0 for 4.
Oh my God.
Richard was 1 for 3, and myself and the fans came in at 2 and 2. So where we are right now, I am in first, tied with the fans at 18 and 18. Just like I said, my motto, a pillar of consistency. It's what we do. Then you have Igal at 17, 18 and 1, and Richard and Alex 15-21. So, Rafa, we'll start with you. Our game of the week here. We're going to go to one of the game of the year candidates here, I think. You have the Cowboys and the Kansas City Chiefs. What do you got for us?
I agree. And do I just give the pick or do I do a little insight?
You can
Tell us why.
Tell us why.
Tell
Yeah.
us why.
I agree with the sentiment that it is a game of the year candidate. I think, this is everyone's talking about the Cowboys, that this is their sort of Super Bowl year, and they finally, they have a matchup against a team that actually played in the Super Bowl last year. So this is definitely a statement game for Dak, and you have Pat Mahomes, who's coming off, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. Looks like he's getting back into a little bit of a groove. This was tough, but if you look at the numbers, the Cowboys are just a better overall team right now, right? I think when you look at, just the strength of the teams, if this is going to be a Chiefs win, it's going to be hero ball from Mahomes. The defense is not good enough to stop the Cowboys offense right now. And, I think that Cowboys D is pretty confident despite the performance against the Broncos. They obviously had a really big bounce back week last week. And I just think it comes down to, it's not really a Dak versus Mahomes game right now. The teams are not evenly matched in terms of skill. I think the Cowboys are just a better team, and they're the team I'm going to go with this week.
Okay.
All
Well,
right.
if anybody can play hero ball, I think it's Patty Mahomes. But I hear your points. I get it. Next, I'm interested to see where you lean here. We're going to Sunday Night Football in Los Angeles. The Pittsburgh Steelers playing the LA Chargers. No pressure.
No pressure. And I did not
might cut off if you pick Pittsburgh, but it's okay.
I did not make the Chargers pick because you are a Chargers fan.
Oh, that's right. It's there. I don't have my glasses on, and your handwriting.
Mike Tomlin is definitely in contention for Coach of the Year right now. Just the way that he has that team playing, especially after the narrative around the Steelers, coming into the season, and especially the first couple weeks in the season. Ultimately, what I think this comes down to is the health of that defense, right? Joe Hayden is out. TJ Watt is out. I think that fundamentally changes how that defense plays and how they're going to be able to stop the Chargers. I just think the Chargers are going to have a little bit too much on offense. And, it's not only the defense. Ben also looks like he's going to miss his second straight game this week. So, when it comes down to Mason Rudolph versus Justin Herbert, as much as, and I also do think the other thing about this is a big game for Herbert to win, right? The Steelers, beating the Steelers is, especially after going 1-3 in his last 4 starts, he needs to right the ship, especially, given sort of the hype around this team. And I just think that they'll be able to do it. I don't know that Mason Rudolph is going to be able to play well enough to keep up with that offense. So I think the Chargers are going to be able to pull it out here.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see who's at quarterback for Pittsburgh. But again, that's the problem. We have recording on a Wednesday. Nothing you can do about it. All right, give us your 2 spread picks from the hip.
The two spread picks. So I'll start with a line that confused me a little bit. I know, Jacksonville got that win over the Bills, but I think we can all agree that was just, a down game for Josh Allen, a down game for the Bills overall. And I know, they also pushed the Colts last week. But I think we're, definitely overvaluing them in the fact that they're giving only 6 to the 49ers. 49ers had a hell of a, performance last week. Gorgeous Jimmy, looks like he's not trying to lose that job anytime soon. And, it comes down to, again, like I said before, major skill disparity between these two teams. And if you're telling me that Kyle Shanahan, who I know, Matt, you're not the big
Kyle Shanahan podcast anymore.
Not a Kyle Shanahan podcast. I do think that 6 is, they should be able to cover that number against Urban Meyer and the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I'm going to go with San Francisco here with the 6.
I like that one. I was looking at that one too.
The second pick.
You don't have concerns about Kyle Shanahan, real quick?
I do have concerns that he's, he comes from a football family, and I think that's definitely added to the pedigree that surrounds the narrative around him. But he's not a bad football coach. It has been a team that's dealt with injuries. I know that this year is a little bit different. He's dealing with more of a QB issue, and he's supposed to be the QB whisperer. So I feel like all of everything that he's supposed to be hyped up to be is kind of getting exposed right now. But if you're telling me it's a game against Jacksonville, I mean,
you know who's up against on that other sideline, right?
Don't even talk up T-Law right now. Don't.
I'm just saying.
Don't.
No. The other coach.
He's I think he's got more problems.
Spry young guy.
Sir
Urban Meyer. He's hitting
All
the
right,
club, the bar.
Give us your last pick here, Rob.
My last pick here, I don't know when I'm going to be back on this pod, but I do know that since I have the opportunity, I am going to.
Oh, no. Does that say what I think it says?
It does.
I am going to take the New York Jets.
Is that a green marker?
+3. That's a green marker. Gang green. I'm taking the Jets +3. Listen, everyone knows Joe Flacco is still elite. I think we can all agree
Matt's favorite
that
player.
Joe Flacco is still an elite quarterback. But in all seriousness, we didn't expect Miami to do what they did against Baltimore last week. And I do think that this is sort of a players have to play for Rob Saleh type of game. They're at home against, they've had statistically the hardest schedule in the NFL, and now they're going into a much easier ride. I think they need to show something in these next few games. And, I don't know what's going on with Miami with, who's supposed to be playing quarterback. Tua did play well against Baltimore, but, I think that was more of he's heating up a little bit, but I think that was more of a letdown spot for Baltimore. And again, if I'm going to come on this pod, I'm going to ride with my team. I'm going to take the underdog +3.
All right. Well, you certainly know your audience with those Chargers and Jets picks, so we'll respect that a little bit here.
Not a terrible pick. I'm just Miami. Their defense is it's sneaky. It can get you. But we'll see.
It is sneaky and it can get you, but apparently Mike White wasn't the right guy to take that on, and Joe Flacco is. I expect a lot of targets.
Mike White was not right. That is.
He was not right. I mean, we could go into the whole quarterback controversy. I think, my honest opinion about why they went with Flacco over Mike White, this week is that they're scared that if Mike White performs, they're going to have to answer a lot more questions than.
That's what I said in the beginning of the show. I said they want to get it out of the way. They want him out of the lineup.
Do you think that's that your coaching staff should be making a decision based off that?
No.
They shouldn't be making the decision based off that, but the year is lost, right? Like it's for them at this point, it's about not dealing with as much negativity surrounding the team. And listen, if Flacco performs because he is Flacco, because he was brought in to be the backup veteran guy, it's fine to go with Zach Wilson next week. If Mike White was in there and Mike White got the win, there's no way that the fan base wouldn't be. If Zach Wilson was on the field, the first pick he threw, that fan base would be screaming for Mike White, and they just can't.
There will be.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
They can't afford to have that happen. So,
no, I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. But we'll see how.
Let's go, fans.
Let's
go, fans.
Let's go. I mean, not for me. I don't want you to win, but good job.
All right, Rafa, thank you for joining us. I appreciate your work with the prop that you brought on. It's always great to have you. And hopefully we'll be able to get another episode of our podcast, The Roundhouse Table, in due time.
We will. It's a growing network, guys. I appreciate it.
Have a good one, man. Thanks for coming on.
All right, so moving right along here, we'll start back at the.
Wait a second.
Yeah, that was a lot of info. He was he was spitting some info.
He was ready to go.
He knew what he was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I need him to get.
You guys just give me all his picks. I'm good.
I can't make my own. I went 0 for 4 last week.
Okay, we're good.
It's true. That is true. Okay, we're good?
Yeah, which game do you want to start with?
We'll go back to the first game that Rafa picked, and that was the Cowboys and the Chiefs. Who wants to start us off?
I'll start us off. I'm going to take the Dallas Cowboys. And it's kind of like what Rafa just said. I just don't believe the Chiefs defense could hang them in this game. I overall, like if Mahomes ends up playing that hero ball that he was saying, it'll end up being a shootout either way. And I overall, like I just believe that the Cowboys are a better team than the Chiefs. I'm after last week, I'm still not a believer in them. I still think the Chiefs are not, all that good yet. I'm not saying they can't make it to that point, but they've just been playing too bad. That defense is just awful,
not good.
So yeah, I will take the Cowboys.
Okay, who's next?
I'll go against you here. I'll take the Chiefs. Yeah, I was really impressed with what I saw with the Chiefs last week. They put up 41 points. Cowboys defense is pretty good, but their pass defense is pretty, it's not that great. Trevon Diggs is getting a lot of hype because he has a lot of interceptions, but he's getting absolutely roasted on non-interception plays. I'm pretty sure they're ranked like 26th in pass defense, like average yards per attempt or one of those stats. Chiefs are hitting their stride. I think they're going to put up a lot of points against this Cowboys defense, and I think they're going to get the win.
I like the pick. Matthew?
All right. So, yeah, I'm with Alex. I think the Chiefs are all the way back. I'm buying fully back into them. I doubled down on them last week against the Raiders. That game was over in the first quarter. 400 yards, 5 touchdowns for Patrick Mahomes. And I believe last week on the podcast, I said, I can see this being a game where they just crush them and go back to the Chiefs and then roll. And I said I have no reason to think that, but I did think it. So it's good to be right every now and then. But I will keep that rolling. I do think the Chiefs are back. They're back in first place of the AFC West. And to the point about the defense, their defense has never been good, even in their run when they were this great team the past couple of years. But their thing was always kind of big moments. They make a stop. When they need to get the ball back, and it always got better as the season progressed. So I think that they might be hitting that point right now, holding the Raiders to 14 points. They looked a lot better, and they're going up against a super high-powered Cowboys offense. So I do think that this is going to be a high-scoring game. Don't expect their defense to play that well in this one, but this is what that looked like the Chiefs of the past 3 years, and I know that the Raiders, because the Raiders were supposed to be a pretty good team, but I'm done down them. That's all I needed to see, honestly.
Yeah, I don't want to call it a trap game because they're the Kansas City Chiefs, and I'm just saying it because Dallas has been so good this year. But it kind of gives me that feel that because they've been struggling, that you kind of expect Dallas to just roll over them. But I'm going to take the Chiefs too. I do think they're turning it around here, and I honestly think they're going to win their division. They're only a game out, right? I know they already lost to the Chargers, but they play again. But
who's a game out?
The Chiefs.
They're in first.
They are in first.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, because they haven't had a bye. They're 6-4. The Chargers are 5-4.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, I like Kansas City.
So 3 against 1.
Yep. And then the second game of the week was what?
Next we have the Steelers and the Chargers. Rich, you can start us off.
I'm gonna take the Chargers. I'm there's too much unsure. What word? I can't think of the word right now. Uncertainty. Uncertainty surrounding the Pittsburgh quarterback situation. And even if Ben doesn't play, if he does play, he sucks. But just based on that, I have to take the Chargers. I'm not risking getting cute.
Okay. Wait, is it me?
It's Matt.
You right? Sorry.
Yes. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Chargers also, even though I don't really know what the fuck is going on over there. Losing to the Vikings, who I don't think the Vikings are that bad of a team. We've talked about them in the past, that they're basically in every game. They've had 3 overtime games, and they obviously have a bunch of weapons on offense. But still, a team like the Chargers, who had the beginning of the season that they had, you want to see them go out there and win that game. Now there's kind of like a lot more. We don't really know what the Chargers are at this point. But I think we know that the Steelers are not good. I don't care if Ben's in there or not. I still don't believe in them. And, this vaunted Steelers defense gave up about 200 yards on the ground to the Detroit Lions. TJ Watt's questionable. He might play, probably won't be 100%. Minka Fitzpatrick is on the COVID list as well with Big Ben. I think that the Chargers will win the game.
All right. I am going to go with the Steelers. I know that Big Ben might not play, but whether he plays or not, they're going to give a lot of work to Najee Harris, who's quietly having a very good season. The Chargers' run defense is horrible. I'm pretty sure it's last in the NFL. They pretty much just straight funnel running backs. Najee Harris is going to have a big game. Whoever is quarterback is going to be able to, pepper Deontay Johnson and Chase Claypool with some targets. Preferably it's Big Ben. And Herbert's struggling a little bit these last couple of weeks. He had a big game against the Eagles, but threw a couple interceptions against the Patriots, threw an interception against the Vikings in a loss. And the Steelers' defense is it's no worse than both of those defenses. So I think he's going to continue to struggle, and the Steelers are going to get the win.
Definitely a good explanation. I'm going to go with the Chargers. I didn't even know all those guys were out. That you're saying on the Steelers defense.
Do your research, kid. You got a podcast. This is why we have a 10-day.
Yeah, but we just picked these games 20 minutes ago. So.
Also a fair point.
So no research could be done. But yeah, so with all those guys being out, I definitely like it. But once Alex was talking, I started thinking about it. I was like, all right, like Najee Harris, Chase Claypool, Deontay Johnson, like it does sound pretty good. But if Mason Rudolph is the starting quarterback, they're not winning the game because you can't even beat the Lions. You have to tie with them. So yeah, I'm taking the Chargers.
All right. Ready to get hurt again by that. Me too. Don't worry. All right. You can go back around. Give us your first pick.
Yep. So my first pick, I am picking the Bengals -1 over the Raiders. I just believe that Joe Burrow and this team will take the step back, and against like a really dysfunctional Las Vegas Raider team right now that just did nothing against a poor Chiefs defense last week. So I'm going to go with the Bengals -1. I like the line there.
Bengals -1. Where is that game?
In Vegas.
Alex?
I'm going to go Saints +1.5 against the Eagles. This game's in Philadelphia. Saints are coming off a loss to the Titans, lost by 2, played them pretty tough. They lost to the Falcons, which is disappointing, on that last-second field goal, and a win against the Buccaneers. So this 3-game stretch, they've been, not exactly lighting it up, but I think they're a decent team. I definitely think they're better than the Eagles, and I think they'll win outright.
Wow. I'm surprised that you think that after
I thought about
last week. I mean, the Eagles really went off, and Jalen Hurts looked really good.
Yeah, and the Saints secondary is pretty suspect as well, but I don't know. I feel like they're just very outmatched in terms of like coaching, play calling, schemes. Like, I think Sean Payton's just going to know how to win this game.
Well, the Knicks
like
lose
the pick.
again to the fucking Magic.
Knicks fucking suck, man.
Lakers are losing to the Bucks, which is
It's
not
all right, though.
know,
RJ was only 0 for 7 from 3, so that's cool.
Lakers are losing to the Bucks right now, but that's not that bad.
Good team.
They're fully healthy again. Everyone's back.
It's the second time the Knicks have lost to the Magic this year.
Really?
All right, I'll make my pick here. I'm going to go with the Packers -2 against the Vikings. We spoke a little bit about the Packers earlier, about how great their defense has been, and winning this game by 2 points. It is in Minnesota, and the way that these top teams are dropping like flies, the Packers have not been one of those teams yet, if you take out the Jordan Love game, but they have not been on the wrong side of an upset since week 1, which is maybe they're due for it if Alex is a believer in due. I know he's a big fan, but no, I don't think so. I think that the Packers will keep rolling. 2 points against Minnesota, although I did just say that the Vikings had been pretty impressive. I think the Packers are just a better team, and they should be able to get the win.
My first pick is going to be the Baltimore Ravens. They are -4.5 against the Chicago Bears. Ravens are coming off that loss to Miami, but they get the mini bye from playing on Thursday, and I think John Harbaugh is going to run circles around Matt Nagy and give Justin Fields some fits with his game plan, and I think the Ravens are going to bounce back and absolutely crush the Bears.
Circles.
Run circles. It's going to be a coach v. coach.
That's definitely a tough coaching matchup. But
yeah, and I like them coming off the tough loss and the little extra time to prepare.
I think Justin Fields is putting some stuff together over there, but I don't hate to pick.
Yeah, no, he almost beat the Steelers, big bad Steelers. Am I up?
Yeah, you're up again.
I'm kidding. Okay, so my second one. Fuck. I hate to do the same as someone else, but I'm also gonna do Packers -2 because I was looking at that one before, and yeah, I don't need to explain. Packers defense is playing so well right now, and another Aaron Rodgers, another week back, like you were saying, Matt. He'll get back into the groove of things. They could have used Odell Beckham Jr. I think though out there, another receiver, but
yeah, that is true. Maybe.
Yeah, so that's my second pick.
All right, I am going to pick the Dolphins -3 against the Jets. I think that is kind of self-explanatory after all the conversation that we've spent on them today. Yep. But, what can we expect from Joe Flacco this week? Give me Miami.
Okay. I'm going with Carolina -3.5 against the Washington football team. Washington football team coming off a big win against the Buccaneers. That has to be the biggest fluke win I have seen all season. The Washington football team is terrible. Panthers got a little bit of energy with their guy Cam Newton back, destroyed the Cardinals. Their defense still really good. I'm pretty sure they give up the least passing yards per game to quarterbacks. Taylor Heineke is going to struggle, and the Panthers are going to cover that 3.5.
Okay.
So I'm going against your first pick, Alex, and I'm taking the Philadelphia Eagles -1.5. Like I was saying before, I just I feel like the Eagles are a better team, and a funny stat is that they're 0-4 at home. So I believe that is also something that's due. The Eagles fans deserve something, especially the way that they've been playing recently. Listen, they put up a really good game against the Chargers. I know they lost it, but if you take that game, the Lions game, they put up 44 points, and then last week they put up 30 points. So I believe that Jalen Hurts is starting to find a rhythm, and Jordan Howard he's a fucking beast at that running back position these last few weeks. So
yeah, out of nowhere,
crazy.
Going every time they cut him on red zone, he's going 15 yards up the middle. Where's this guy been? Yeah, well, Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders is I think he's activated, or he's designated.
Designated to return. They have some nice players on their offense. They just haven't been able to put it together, really. Not a terrible team.
They score points, like the Eagles
Yeah.
said, but they've been putting up points. Their defense is pretty bad, but I like Jalen Hurts. I'm not giving up on him yet either.
Devontae is looking pretty good.
He's had a good couple games in a row.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
it's my
They
guy
have literally
right now.
nobody else. Jalen Rager is a joke of a
Yeah,
wide
he hasn't
receiver.
been doing shit.
Saints defense allows the fewest rushing yards per game.
They haven't met Jordan Howard yet. All right, so there you have it for our picks.
Yeah. That's did we have how many similar ones did we have? I know first one was 3 against
Just
1.
the Packers.
3 against 1, and then 3 against 1.
And
With
then
Alex is the only one on the Steelers.
Okay. Should be an interesting week. Hopefully we do
could
better
get
than
some
last week.
movement.
Yeah.
There's 2 ties at the top and 2 ties at the bottom, with Eagle sitting in the middle. So let's see if we can break things up a little bit.
Yep.
But
Fans are tied for first.
that's why I said 2 ties at the top, me and the fans, and then you and Richard in last.
Wow, we suck if we can't beat the fans.
You guys are 3 games back of the fans right now.
No,
Is
but
Melda taking?
fans coming first?
Oh, technically, yeah. I think tie goes to the fans, so they are ahead of all of us right now.
But we all have to do our punishment.
We all have
Yes,
to jump
which
in.
will be announced next episode. Tune in for that.
All right. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you for tuning in, and remember to tune in next week. Goodbye.
Big episode.